Great. Amazing. Happy Saturday morning, all. I'm just going to make sure that my screen share is working. I've got so many tabs open right now. It is crazy, but thank you all so much for giving up your Saturday morning or your Friday night, wherever you are in the world right now. This is week 2 of our 6-week masterclass that, Mel and I and some of the other leaders kind of put together for you guys, because we wanted to get excited and get everybody together again. And I know last week having Brandon and Marielle on, oh my gosh, those two powerhouses together, that was absolute fire. And I know there was so much incredible feedback that came from that, just so much excitement as well. And, people are just loving the momentum, the energy, and everything that's happening in Q right now. It's literally 2 weeks away and we are at convention. It's 2 weeks away and we will have access to all of these brand new products that are coming, which is an exciting time. I'm very, very excited to get my hands on some of them. So for those that don't know me, my name is Kayla Milner. I am a Platinum Ambassador here at Q, and I get the pleasure of sitting on the Advisory Council. I have been with Q for 2 years now. And just to share a little bit of a backstory, I fell into network marketing. I had no intention at all of, being in this industry, I guess, or it was never on the career plan. But I had my now 7-year-old daughter at the time, 7 years ago, and I had my light bulb moment that I wanted to be able to create something from home where I could have money coming in, but still be that full-time mama that I wanted to be. So I fell into the industry 2 years ago. I came to Q because of what I saw here and what got me really, really excited. Now, what I also want to share is that, your story over time will change when you're in this industry as well, right? So I started because I wanted financial independence. I wanted to be that full-time stay-at-home mom. That's, I've achieved all of those things now, which has just been amazing. And, that's still obviously the goal. And I want to always have that opportunity. But now, life's different for us. My husband's not working in the mining industry anymore. His mental health has been deteriorating. So for me to be able to have this opportunity with Q, to be able to generate this income, to be able to help my family so he doesn't have the pressure of having to go back to work, is absolutely life-changing for us right now. So today, what Mel and I are going to talk about and share with you guys is the systems that we use here at Q, and really keeping it simple, right? Because I think so many times we just overcomplicate it, and we really don't need to. We can keep this really simple. And so I guess what we're going to talk about is the system and how that all looks, and what that kind of, I guess, looks like for us, and how we share this. So what it really comes down to is these few simple and easy steps. It's piquing interest. It's exposing people to the opportunity, and you can take a screenshot of this if you like. It's passing or connecting onto that third party, onto our mentor or onto our upline. We then help enroll, or we go back to the process of following up. And that comes in so many different forms. So this is the system that we use. And, honestly, if you follow this, and I know sometimes we start to veer off the path, and we, want to do all other crazy different things, and, implement different systems or whatever it might be. But this is what I use. I know this is what Mel uses. This is what we teach. Because the thing is, if you can keep this really simple, and you can show others that this is as easy as it can be, then that's when, we all start to have success. Now, you don't have to stick to this if you don't want. We are not your bosses. We are not going to say, this is what you have to do, but this is what we use, and we know that it works. So just know that if you start to veer off the path, what your mentor or your business partner can always help you do is to kind of see where you've steered off the path if you're not following this. So that's what I love. We can kind of easily look at this and figure out where things have started to break down in the system, right? So, imagine if we didn't have a system and we were doing everything for everyone. It would just be absolutely crazy, and we would never have that time freedom. So we need to have, these simple steps that we can follow. So the first step in the system is piquing interest. Now, I don't want to take away from, because, some of you might be working really closely with your mentor, you might be working really closely with your upline, and they might be doing things slightly different. So just know that it may be slightly different here or there, but the basis of it is exactly the same. So piquing interest. Now, by show of, I guess, like a 1 in the chat, who feels like recruiting is a dirty word, or it makes you feel a little bit icky. It makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable, to get those messages out there and start to, yeah, Marinda, yeah, Lisa. It's really common, guys. It's really common. Robin, Cara, Letitia. Okay, cool. Yep. Okay. So lots of people find or feel that recruiting is a little bit icky. It's a little bit uncomfortable. And just know that it didn't come naturally for me when I first started in this industry either. And I felt uncomfortable. It is a skill and a muscle that you have to grow and that you continually have to work on, even when it's uncomfortable, right? So I always like to look at it as, a way to have fun, because, what we have here with Q and this opportunity is like a life raft. You are literally just putting that life raft out there to people, a rescue boat, if you want to call it, to your family, your friends, your network. It's up to them whether they take it, whether they jump on, whether they, want to be rescued as well, right? So, but the truth is that recruiting is happening in every single industry. It is happening everywhere. So, I want to share an example of where this happened most recently in our life. Was that in the last school holidays, we got an email from one of my daughters in grade 1. We got an email from her teacher to say that she wasn't going to be returning after the school holidays because she had been offered another position, a full-time position paying more money. So she was recruited. Recruitment happens in every single industry, right? So, we are not exempt from that. If you're an amazing personal trainer, or you're an amazing nurse or doctor, or childcare educator, it doesn't matter, whatever it is, or a barista. Somebody down the road is looking for a barista and they know that you're an amazing barista, they're probably going to be knocking on your door, right? Asking you if you're open to other opportunities. So when you can start to look at it as a way of, that it does happen in so many different industries, that we are not exempt, that we do have an opportunity to truly be able to help people here and have fun, and don't come from that place of being icky or spammy. That's when, it doesn't feel uncomfortable and it feels good, right? But know that it is a skill that you constantly need to refreshing and using and doing every single day to flex that muscle, right? So piquing interest, inviting people to take a look. This is our very first step. Now, I want to ask you, and you can pop it in the chat if you want, what are you most excited about with Q? Or when you first looked at this opportunity and you first joined, what was it that got you most excited? Why did you join, right? And now, if you're not sure why you should be excited, or you're not sure what you're excited about, drop me a message and I'll get you excited. For me, it was, the reason I came in was the compensation plan. I was excited for the compensation plan, right? So I've been in the industry for 7 years and I hadn't seen anything like it. So when I came across this opportunity, what I did was I called up a couple of close girlfriends and I said, this is like literally word for word, and they will tell you that this is what I said. Listen, you're going to think that I'm crazy, but I've come across something really exciting that I can't unsee. And, I know what this could mean for me and my family, but for so many others as well. And I'm going to do this. And that was it. And then I got them on a call with Amy and Mel, and they did the rest. It's that simple, right? But sometimes we overcomplicate it. And I was on a discovery call the other day, and I was chatting to this lady, and she was saying about when she first joined her network marketing company, what she did when she reached out to her family and friends was that, you can judge me all you like, but I'm doing this and I would love for you to be a part of it. So, when you can come from that place of just being real and honest when you're inviting and when you're showing people and asking them to take a look, that's when it doesn't feel uncomfortable. So the first step is, why are you excited? Because, you want to share and talk into like why you're excited generally when you're reaching out to people. The second step of it is, I thought of you because, right? I didn't even say this to my close girlfriends. And now I didn't say, I thought of you because I know this is going to be amazing to do together, but they already knew that. But I thought of you because I know that together we could have a ton of fun doing this. I thought of you because I know you're a single mom and you're so driven and you're successful in whatever it is that you do. I thought of you because you're a leader and I know that you're made to do some huge things. I thought of you because I know your work ethic. I know that you've been looking for a way to bring in some extra income. I thought of you because. So when you can add that in there, it really does just give people that little bit of a feeling of, oh my God, that she actually thought of me for a legit reason why she wants me to be a part of her team or why she wants to share this with me. Step 3 is, who do you want them to meet? So step 1 is why you're excited. So adding why you're excited. Step 2, I thought of you because. Step 3 is, who do you want them to meet? Now, in this process is where I also like to give a little bit of an out. I don't know if this will be for you or not, because it takes the pressure off people, because we don't want to feel like we're pressuring people into this opportunity. Like, this may or may not be for you. It's a great way to really take that pressure off people, right? But I recently met someone who's been very successful at helping people build a supplemental income. What I love about her is she's teaching me exactly how she does business. And it could be that there's an opportunity call and we're going to be sharing something really exciting at the end of this call. I wish I was sharing it, but Mel's going to share it. We're having a little call tomorrow night, or we're having a little call at XYZ time. I would love for you to jump on and meet her and just hear her story. Tell me what you think. People love to give you their opinion, even when you don't ask for it. So if you're asking for it, I would love your opinion. I would love to hear, what you think, right? So why you're excited, why you thought of them, and who you want them to meet, and giving them that little bit of an out in them. It may or may not be for you. That's okay. We're having a little call tomorrow night. I would love for you to meet who's been helping me, to be successful in this business, or who it is that's showing me what it is that I need to do to have success in this business. She's a mum just like us. So you can break down those barriers there to show them that, relatability, right? Now, when we are asking people to take a look, so when we're inviting people to take a look, or which we're piquing people's interest, it's knowing that some people are going to be open, some people are going to be closed, and that's okay, right? So if you can pretend, like, when you're asking people to take a look at this opportunity, pretend that they have a card behind their back. You don't know what that says. You don't know what that card says. It's either going to say open or it's going to say closed, right? So, some of you guys came from different projects before you came to Q, from different opportunities. Some of you have never done this business before, and maybe had the person that shared this with you asked you 2 days earlier, 3 years earlier, whenever, maybe the time wouldn't have been right for you either. But it's just so happened to be, whether it was through follow-up or whether it was on that first exposure, you said yes and you're here, right? You were open at the right time. So on that first introduction, we're not asking them to buy anything. We're just asking them to take a look at the opportunity. We just want to know if they are open or they're closed, and we are looking for the lookers, right? We're not trying to convince or coerce anybody into the opportunity. And what I love is, like, if somebody does say no, they're not interested, I will always go back and say, that's okay. Would it be okay if I check back in with you in, a couple of months? Or if it's okay if I check back in with you in a few weeks, because I know how quickly life is changing right now. Just because they say no, doesn't mean that it's going to be no forever, but it also doesn't mean or give you the opportunity to keep asking them. But ask, is it okay if I check back in with you in a couple of months? Because I know how quickly life is changing and moving. And also, if somebody says no, this is a really great option or opportunity to ask them, would they be open to even just trialing some products for you? If I was to send you a few products in the mail, I know, you're not really interested in the opportunity, and that's totally okay. But if I was to send you some samples, would you be open to trialing them and giving me your feedback? Because you may just get yourself a customer. When I fell into network marketing, I was a customer of network marketing for over 2 years. I was not interested in the business, but I had that moment of, oh my gosh, I need to do something. And I fell into it. So so I was a customer for 2 years, right? So you never know also when your next customer is going to turn into your business partner, because their mortgages go from, fixed to variable, or a life thing happens and they need something, or they see the community and the culture and what it is that you're creating here on your socials, and they're like, I need to be a part of that. Whatever Lisa's doing, she's always having a fat time. She's always surrounding herself with all these incredible women at events. I want to be a part of that, right? So it's just knowing that not everyone's going to be open at the same time. Some people are going to be closed. Some people are going to be open. Our job is just to throw the ball or throw the life raft out there, however you want to look at it, and give people the opportunity to either take it or not. So the second step in the system, so with peaked interest, is exposure. Now, exposures can look like so many different things, right? It could be a opportunity call. It could be through Facebook groups. It could be a one-on-one with your mentor or your upline, putting that connection together. It could be a recording. And I'm not big on recordings. I don't think they really do or pull much weight when it comes to this. So I'm not big on sharing recordings. I would prefer other ways. Or it could be a Fab Five. And for me, I love the Fab Fives. I think this is absolutely incredible. And, you can do a Fab Five as frequently as you want. It doesn't have to be in your first week in business. Some of you may have been here with Q now for a couple of years, maybe 5 years, like Mel, OG. Or maybe you've only been here for 5 months, 5 weeks, 5 days. You can still have another Fab Five, right? So what I love about the Fab Fives, and this is the exposure specifically that I want to talk into, is that the kicker with this is that it's your responsibility to get people onto the call, right? So we've walked through how to invite, and nothing changes with the Fab Five. So, you're still inviting the same way. But what I love about the Fab Fives versus a weekly opportunity call is that the accountability falls on you. If your mentor has carved out like 30 minutes of their night, you don't want no one to show up. This is a really great way to get you into action, to get you moving in your business. Reach out to your upline and mentor and ask, can you do a Fab Five for me next week at this time? Does that work for you? Because guess what? You are going to get your butt into gear and into action, and you are going to get those messages out, and you're going to get people onto that call, because you're not going to want to, have that 30-minute time slot and no one show up, right? But what I love about the Fab Fives as well is that it's more personable. Like if we've got, who else is on here? If Marinda, she says, I'm doing a Fab Five for Marinda, and she's like, there's a single mom coming to the call, there's a personal trainer coming to the call, there's a nurse, there's like, she can tell the mentor, the business partner, the upline, whoever's hosting the call, the people specifically coming to the call. So we know what we're going to talk into. We know, I'm going to talk about, if I know that there's a personal trainer coming to the call, I'm going to talk about Amy's experience in this industry and how she used to own an F45 and she's my business partner, and like all of these things. If it's a nurse, I'm going to talk about how my girlfriend Elise, who is a business partner of mine, she's been a nurse for over 15 years and she loves the sublingual vitamin sprays. Like I'm going to subtly put different things in there to make it more personable, to talk to the people that are actually on that Fab Five, that opportunity call, right? Now, the Fab Five doesn't even have to be a nighttime call. It could be a lunch and learn. It could be, maybe you're a mom and you've got small kids and you're at home, most mornings or most afternoons, or however it fits in. It could be, coffee and collagen at 10 a.m. It doesn't have to be Q Vibe or Meet Q or Q Opportunity or whatever. You can call it whatever you want. Your Fab Five. Coffee and collagen, lunch and learn, whatever it is that you want to call it, right? And you can have it at whatever time you think your network would be able to jump onto that call. So the exposure comes in many different ways: opportunity calls, one-on-ones, Fab Fives, Facebook groups. And when I say Facebook groups, these could be your customer testimonial pages as well, because that's exposing them through the products, through the opportunity that way. Now, the next step is connecting, right? So somebody has seen the opportunity, or you've exposed them to something of Q, generally an opportunity call, right? So whether it's a Fab Five or whether it's a one-on-one or a big group call, it doesn't matter. The next step in this piece is connecting, right? So, if you're talking to 1 or 2 people right now and your mentor doesn't know about it or isn't in a chat with them, you are doing this wrong. You want to get back in there as soon as possible and let them know, oh my gosh, I've just been sitting with this, or I've just come off a coaching session and realized I really need to connect you with XYZ, right? We're going to talk into that. Third-party validation is everything. Stay coachable, stick with the system. People need to hear from someone else that isn't you. They need to hear from other people, right? So just know that. So the connecting piece is so important. Now, after the Zoom call, reach out immediately. So, there's Mel's going to share some events that are happening next week. This piece is going to be like crucial after you've invited them to these calls and they've been on it. You want to connect them straight away. You want to get into the message with them and be like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. I was loving that. What was your favorite part? What did you love most? What excited you most? So you always lead with a positive, and don't ask, what did you think? Because they're like, I don't know what I thought, right? But what did you love most? What excited you most? What was your favorite part? And what's generally going to happen is they are going to ask questions. Kayla girl, she spoke way too freaking quickly. I don't even know what she said about the compensation plan, but there was a lot of numbers, right? So they'll probably ask questions, and you may know the answer, but this is where you don't answer. I know this, what you'll go back to them and say, I know exactly who we need to speak to. My business partner, Mel, my business partner, Amy, my business partner, Abby, my business partner, Kayla. She was amazing at helping me get all my questions answered when I was taking a look to see if this was a good fit for me. I know she's super busy. She's a mom, she's a wife, blah, 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 blah. But she would be the best person for me to connect you with. Let me see if I can get us connected to see if this is a good fit for you as well. And when you say that to see if it's a good fit for you, she helped me to see if it was a good fit. It takes the edge off them. They know that it's not pressure. It's like, we'll just see if it's a good fit. If it is, it is. It's not, it's not. Right? So when, things that scare people off can be, can I put you in a three-way? Can I introduce you to my upline? Never ask. It's always easier to ask for forgiveness than it is permission, right? So when it comes to that connecting piece, this is how, I also would just want to reiterate here that your business partner or your mentor or whoever it is specifically that you're working with might be coaching you on a different way to do this system. So I just want to emphasize that, right? This is how I do it, is the peaking, the exposing, and then the connecting piece. The connecting piece, what it looks like for me when my business partners have said, what did you love most, or however that was, is I get them to put me in a three-way chat. A three-way chat. I always make sure that they are edifying both parties, because that step is so important and it is crucial, because this is where we're transferring the respect as well, right? So it could be, adding them into that three-way chat. And it's like, do you jump in there with a voice message, or maybe you don't like voice messages, type in there. This is my mentor, Kayla. I just told you about. She's been an amazing support for me. She's doing some incredible things here, helping families, creating additional income. Kayla, this is Lisa, blah, 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 whatever you know about that person. She's a mum of 3. Whatever, right? Her husband works in the mines, whatever you kind of know, put in there, because we will always find some relatability. She was just on that Zoom tonight. She's a mum just like us, and she has some questions. She wasn't sure about this, or whatever the question might be. You might want to pop that in there as well. So they know, like, and trust you, right? When you put this three-way chat together and you are connecting and you are edifying, you are transferring that know, like, trust, respect as well. So generally what will happen next is the mentor will jump in there with a voice message, and they're going to edify you back. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, Lisa's doing amazing things here. She's crushing it. I'm so glad that she's connected us. Look, I would absolutely love to jump on a call with you. Would this time or this time tomorrow work? And generally I would always give 2 times the following day, unless it was in the morning and I had time that night, but generally 2 times on the following day. And sorry, I keep picking on you, Lisa and Lisa, because the two Lisas I can see in my screen right now. So I want to, I think you're still host. I want to now pass this over. I got the pleasure of doing the fun start to the phenomenal Mel Goodwin. You all know her, love her, like her, whatever. She is an OG here at Q. She's been with Q for over 5 years. She's pioneered the Australian New Zealand marketplace long before we came in, and she's a wealth of knowledge. She is a Ruby ambassador. She sits on the advisory council as well and has done for a long time now. So, and I know that she loves that proximity and being able to work closely with corporate and especially with Jake. And Mel's going to go through the second half of what the system actually looks like and share some exciting news with you guys at the end.
Amazing. Kales, can I get you to screen share though? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just hard on my laptop when it's on the dashboard right now. And I will let you know, I was tooting once when you were speaking because Archer got a goal. So yay! Don't you love multitasking? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, Kayla, for that beautiful introduction. But also, guys, I hope, well, actually, I do know that I saw a lot of you taking notes because you just heard the most incredible first part of the system, all right, with Kayla or from Kayla. And I'm going to tell you guys, this woman has the most personally sponsored ambassadors that are still active and purchasing every month in the entire Australian and New Zealand marketplace, right? So success leaves clues. So if you didn't take as much notice as you maybe should have because you didn't know that, make sure you go back and watch the recording and also share it with your team, okay? Because she gave you some golden nuggets in there that she does and is no wonder the leader in Australian and New Zealand marketplace with the most personally active sponsored people. We've all, like we can all recruit, right? We can all recruit a lot of people, but I'm saying that most active, right? That she's retained. Okay. So there's a reason why they're getting paid. And no wonder she's platinum. Okay, so I'm excited, guys. This is my beautiful family. Oh my gosh, and I just had a quick look at it. Thanks, Kales. I just had a quick look at it. I was like, oh, they are growing up so quickly. And I hear Kayla's story and I'm like, I'm just so blessed that for the last 10 years, I've been able to be there, right? So yes, the tallest there, the oldest, he's 20 in a couple of months, right? I just can't believe I had him when I was 2. Did anyone get that joke? Joking. And then, my beautiful 17-year-old in the middle, she's I think I've scarred her for life because she just doesn't, she goes to school and talks to her friends about, I don't want to do the 9-to-5 grind. I want to do what mum does. And I'm like, yeah, but Charlie, you have to work. She just thinks she's going to leave school and be an entrepreneur and get paid tens of thousands of dollars a month. And I'm like, girlfriend, you got a bit of work to do. And then the beautiful Archer who's out on the field right now. And he is, this photo was taken last year, I think. He's now taller than my husband, Troy, and my oldest son. So he's gone, there's nothing of him. He's gone like this and like this. So, sorry that I'm on the bit of a, what do you call it? When you're renewing things, I don't know what the word is. I can't think of the word right now, but yeah, just looking at the photo, I'm like, yes, proud mama. Thank you. Anyway, let's get this show on the road. Thank you guys for allowing me to have that space to do reminiscing. That's what it was. Okay, qualifying. Now let's talk about this for a little bit. I know when I first got started in this business, I enrolled everyone that had a heartbeat. Okay. with a heartbeat. And that was good for, I suppose, momentum. However, I will tell you that what happened is that set me up for failure because I wasn't bringing the right people to the table. And not only did that kind of, hurt my ego because they'd come in and do nothing, right? It also set them up for failure because they really weren't committed and didn't commit to themselves. And so that makes it hard on them as well. So I wasn't doing them a service by just going, hey, just sign up, you'll be fine, just go send some messages, right? So over the years, we do learn that qualifying is something that is so important because we want to set you as the business owner bringing in new business to you, that you want to have business partners that are going to stay around and they're not going to go into witness protection, right? We've all had those individuals in our business that you've signed them up and then you keep going, let's do this. And next minute you are blocked or ghosted, right? It happens. And it gets to a point where it's nothing to do with what we've done or us. It's their stuff. Okay. So we can only love on them, but not take it personally or to heart. But one of the things that we can do to potentially avoid that, and sometimes it will still happen, it still happens, right? Is pre-qualifying, or what we call qualifying. Making sure that, they are coming into the business for the right reasons, right? Or knowing that, hey, if they do sign up as an ambassador, they're kind of a glorified PC, right? But that, okay? So understanding, do they want to own their own business? Are they willing to do it at hour a day minimum, right? Are they willing to put that initial investment in? And additionally to that, knowing that for at least the next 12 months, they are in business where they're purchasing their product, which is their business overhead every single month. Now, that's turning the lights on and qualifying them in their own business. And sometimes in some businesses, especially if it was traditional business, you'd be throwing thousands and thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars into debt before you actually start making money, right? So here it's like saying, well, you have to have skin in the game, open your doors to your business, but also have enough product that you are consuming so that you are a product of the product, but also that you have enough to then go sample out to people to get your business going, right? So having that mindset, that business mindset, that's what it is. And I know there's some people that can't afford that. Yeah, pantry's like a Q warehouse. But they aren't ready to, they might be a customer, like a customer that's going to start sharing, right? They're not ready to really go into business just yet, but we still love on them and we still share them with our, I suppose, business mentality and philosophies. It's just where you're going to invest your time. Okay. Now you may not have the posture to pre-qualify or qualify like this yet. And that's why the previous step that Kayla talked about, in the connecting aspect, is where you then start listening, learning, and growing with your mentor to gain that qualification skill set. Okay. And then obviously you want them launched within 48 hours and willing to commit at least to get to builder. Yes, we want to go executive and beyond, but let's get them to builder first and foremost. We can't unlock our compensation plan or, get them paid until they are builder, right? So, especially if they're building the business, we can get them paid as, customer commission, but we want to make sure that we can get them to at least builder as the first step. Awesome. Kale's next slide. Follow up. Okay. This is really, really important. Why, guys? Is because you are going to have different personalities, red, blue, yellow. What are any other, how many others is there? Red, blue, yellow, I'm missing one. Green apples. Or you could look at it as red apples, green apples, right? So with the people that you're going to have people that are going to be like all in straight up. That's a small percentage of people. The other people are going to want to research, or they're going to want to think about it, or whatever, ask more questions, all those things. Okay. So this is where the fortune is in the follow-up. And I think the next slide, Kales, does it talk about exposures as well? Oh yeah, there we go. So how many exposures? Guys, realistically, it's 7 to 12. Okay. So for you mentally to know that it's going to take 7 to 12 exposures before someone is going to be that's going to say yes to you. How many exposures did it take for you? Right. I think for me, oh gosh, I don't know if everyone knows the story, but Mark and Jake actually paid for a plane ticket for me to get on a plane and go to corporate. This is before Brandon Stevens even joined. I could have been his sponsor. And I couldn't get on the plane, right? It then took another, I think it was 9 months before I said yes, right? But if it wasn't for Brandon continually checking in on me, making sure I was okay, just saying hi, not about business, just life, right? How are you feeling? What's happening? How's the kids? How's the family? All those things. What that does, okay, this is key, because it's not necessarily yes, if someone's interested in the product, they want to see testimonials of product and all those sort of things, right? But when people are going to join you in business, what really they are doing is testing that they can trust you. They're testing that you are the type of person that they can do business with. How you are showing up in the 5 F's, how you are being a good person to them, how you are showing them that you are truly going to link arms with them and do it together and show them that you're connected with the people that are helping you do it. Okay. So it's not what we say, it's how we make people feel, and that we have what they need. And well, you have what they need, right? So the ways to follow up can be face-to-face, stick of sport. What's that? Is that a sports sample? Is that what you mean? Yeah. Social media posts, polls on your stories, asking them to get on a call, message, face-to-face, tag in a customer review group. So many different ways to expose. Okay. I think the biggest tool that I utilize for exposure is literally just picking up, checking obviously their stories, posts, their notes in their messenger, and picking up and putting a voicemail in, or even they might have just thought of them. How many people do we think of on a daily basis that we don't then actually go say anything to? But what if, and this is what I do, is like, hey babe, for some reason you came to my mind, I just wanted to check in, hope you're well, what's been happening in your world, right? So just little things like that, that's not business or anything like that. It's just being a nice person and just letting them know that you've been thinking of them, right? for some reason you popped into their head. Okay, recruiting. Taylor talked about this as a dirty word, and it's funny because I had a team call the other night and I was going over recruiting and peaking and stuff, and I have to take a step back because I love recruiting. It's just in my blood, but I also know that it isn't for everyone, and some people find it difficult, and that's probably the difficult thing for me, is because it just comes quite natural, or it's had a skill set I've had to develop, you know, when it used to feel icky, and I've had to develop that. But I think that, you know, knowing and understanding for you guys, some of you guys, it's not easy, and it gets easier, but it's a muscle and a skill set, and something that the incredible Melissa Gio pointed out the other day for me when she was doing some action sessions with the team, and something really stuck with me. It was like, she said, you just got to master the basics. And I'm like, it's so true, guys. You know, how many times do you think Tiger Woods just kept putting from the same spot and mastered that basic, or mastered his long drive swing? I don't know whether that's what you call it, because I'm not a golfer, but, or Michael Jordan. How many times do you think he's, you know, thrown from the 3-point line and just mastered, or done a layup and just mastered those basics time and time and over and over and over again? And I will say to you, the amount of messages that you need to send compared to what you're doing now needs to at least 10x, because, and that is the only way that you're going to learn and pivot to and track. This is key. And track what is working and what is not working. I'm sure some of the leaders that have been around for a long time always go, you know, say, oh, this has changed, or this has changed, or this has changed. Yes, because people change, things start working that never worked before, and then, you know, it all of a sudden is working, right? So, but it's just mastering those basics of the system that we're talking about, and making sure that you're doing that basic steps every single time. So, Kales, do you want to go to the next slide? Oh, okay, awesome. So for some of you have already seen this, who have been working closely with me, and I love it. So what I've done is created this. It is an intentional business prospecting worksheet. Okay. Now you could put this in, you know, a digital form if you wanted, or I have gone back to the good old paper and pen, because it works for me and keeps me on track, that I'm on my desk every day and I know intentionally who I have to speak to, where I'm at in the system. Okay, you can see here that the system is put into these columns: peak, connect, schedule, Zoom, right? Just like Kayla has said, right? That is where this is going. So what's really important, and this is for someone, okay, and this can be, you know, still your Fab Five or someone who's just joined, but it can get a little bit too much for someone who's just joined, right? I would say to start using this once you've got into your warm market, and you need to go into a colder market. Okay, so the first column there is identify. So you are intentionally identify who you're wanting to do business with. Okay, and then you are engaging with them, whether it be on their posts, in Messenger, or on their stories 5 times before you peak them. Now, why is it 5 times? Because I don't know how many times someone has said to me, oh, but I just don't know when to peak. I just don't know the right timing to peak. Well, here, guys, I've given you, if you've engaged 5 times, and sometimes it's even before I've engaged 5 times, I will actually say, hey, I've been thinking about you. I really think, you know, you would benefit with what I'm working on with some influential entrepreneurs. I'd love to share it with you if you're open. That's it. That's it. Simple, right? And then connect. Then I'm introducing them to or connecting them to a live QIQ presentation. So I can go now. I know I've got what I'm going to share with you in a minute. I've got a call with Amy and Jake coming up. Amy and Kayla. I've got a call with I've got a call with Amy and Kayla and Jake, Amy and Jake, and myself and Jake over the 3 days over the next week. I'm going to make sure that I'm getting these people I've connected onto those calls, right? So I'm going to move them. So if you could imagine Kayla Milner is number 1 on my list. What I'm doing is literally moving her across the page to the follow-up, right? And then just she's left there at follow-up until she signs or tells me, no, leave me alone forever, and blocks me, right? But what you have to do additionally to this, guys, right? I will say you have to show up yourself as well. Okay. Because if you're connecting with them and engaging with them, if you start posting, they're going to see your stuff. So a talking reel or story and a post, right? Daily, so that you can start coming into their stuff and you start interacting with them. So yeah, I think some people have put that they want that. So I will chuck that into chats and you guys can share it wherever. Okay, so the cycle. This is the system. It's like washing your clothes every single day, right? We don't like it. I'm not saying you don't like this, but we have to do it, right? It's the basics. It's like, okay, dirty clothes, put it in the wash, hang it out, fold, dry, whatever, or dryer, fold, put it away. Same goes with this cycle. So you're launching someone, you're getting to them Fab 5, pique their interest, share the tool, invite to an event, into a connecting, like Kayla said, closed and upline by upline, signed up as a customer or biz partner, away you go, right? Anything more than that is massively overcomplicating things, guys, and we want to make sure you keep it super simple and getting the most out of the basics that you keep doing day in and day out. Here we go. All right. I'm excited. I know we've kept you for a little while this morning, so I'm just going to quickly run through this. A newsletter is going out to the entire company, I believe, with these on it. So this is going to be exciting. These are going to be opportunity webinars, very similar to the Night with Q that Jake and Mark did the other night. So the first day is going to be Wednesday, 11 a.m. Australian time, or Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Mountain time. So that's going to be Kayla and Jake. They're going to be on the couch, but it's not going to be like fat chats with Kayla. It's going to be Jake and Kayla having a conversation intertwined with the opportunity presentation. Okay. So this is not only for you, your team, this is for prospects. And you know that you want to get your prospects in front of Jake and Kayla this Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. Then you get to back it up the next day with Amy amazing. You definitely want to get that call will be fire as well from a business side of things. And then myself next Saturday morning. So if you look at those topics, so Kayla, navigating the economic roller coaster, how Q Science has guided me and my young family through turbulent times. Guys, how many mums do you know that or families, mums or dads, that need to listen to that, right? That's where your mind needs to go when you're reaching out to someone, okay? Powerful partnerships, thriving with good people in business and beyond. How many people, this is with Amy. Amy's ex-traditional, she's had multiple traditional businesses, right? So who do you know in traditional business that needs to needs to hear from Jake and Amy, right? That's again where your mind needs to go to. And for Q Vision and future-proofing generations to come. And that with me, guys. Now that's where my passion comes in, because when I fell into network marketing, it's because I was so sick. My health was so bad that I couldn't work, right? So who do you know that is, or on the edge of that, like wanting to semi-retire or retire, that don't have their super where they want it to be, who haven't got, this huge portfolio that they can transfer down to generations? That's what our age group are now thinking of. So who do you know in our age group that need to future proof, right? So those three different, like, I would be inviting everyone to all, but I'm just saying to you, that's where you could really tailor it to someone, okay, to get them on that presentation. Awesome. Is there any question, anything that I've missed in the chat, Kales, or are we good? We're good. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. Next week, it's going to be myself and Jake at this time. And then so our next masterclass isn't until after conference, I think. Is that right, Kales? Yeah. So we will be back after conference. Make sure you're tuning in. You're plugging into everything. I know there's some exciting news going to be coming, I think, Tuesday, with things around conference. So please make sure you're tuning into Q News and your leaders all the time to get all the incredible updates. Love you guys. Thank you much for sharing your Friday night, Saturday morning with us. Talk soon.